Good afternoon, everyone. I hope all of you are fine. Good afternoon, Vahini. Okay, Hannah has come. Good afternoon, Swati. Good afternoon, everyone. Vahini, I'm fine. How are you, Vahini, beta? Good afternoon, Anjali. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, Sanvi. Good afternoon, Vahini. You are fine. That's great. Great to know. I guess, Anjali, I'm fine. How are you, beta? I guess everyone is doing great, and I was just not well for the past 2 days, so I'm fit and fine now. Santosh, good afternoon. Hannah, good afternoon. I hope you had a nice time. Good afternoon, Ajit. I hope you are doing fine, beta. Okay, let me start with the usual thing. Good afternoon, Deepak. Let me start with the usual thing that I always keep on saying without before the class. Good afternoon, Shavya. First thing, please keep your videos off. You might be having trouble with the internet speed. And secondly, and most importantly, yeah, the chat must be on the ID with the name of Simply Astic. I've logged in by 2 IDs. So whatever messages you have to send, there are already 25 messages. Whatever message you have to send, please send it on this ID of Astic. Okay. Good afternoon, Vijay. So I might not be saying good afternoon now because there's too many good afternoons from my side. I again wish everyone a very good afternoon. And first of all, how was your test? I hope you had a good time with the test. I hope you were able to solve much of the questions, and I'm sure you got the solutions as well and answers as well, and you must be satisfied. Again, as I told you in the last class, that if the results, if the marks are high, don't get overexcited. If the marks are less, don't be nervous. The first test that you have given, probably first test of your life in the MCQ type on an app, don't worry, things are going to be fine. Once you get into the habit of giving regular tests. Okay. With this, let us start with some basic maths. I must go through some basic maths before we can venture into solving physics. As I told you, that was probably in the first class I told you something, right? What was that I told you about maths and physics? I forget. I keep on forgetting. What did I tell you about maths and physics? Anyone? Maths is the what? No one remembers. Maths is the language of physics. Yes, Anna. Thanks for for reminding me. Maths is the language of physics. Now, it's a very understatement. It's a very small statement, sort of an understatement. Yes, Vijay. Maths is the language of physics. Now, when physics talks, it talks in the language of maths. You'll always have some equations. The job of physics, basically, is to create an equation from the understanding of the subject. Please remember it better. Very simple point. The job of physics is to get you to the equation. For example, let us start with a very simple example. S is equal to ut plus half at squared. Now you all must be aware about this equation, I guess. I call it equation. I don't call it formula. Equation is a better name. This is an equation. Now physics will get you up till this equation. To solve this equation is a matter of your maths. Once you get to this equation, then everything is taken over by the maths part. So what we'll do here in 2 or 3 classes from now onwards, that we'll be dealing with such basic maths that is required for our physics class. Now remember, whatever we are doing here, obviously is not going to cover the entire portion of maths, not even entire portion. We might be doing only 1% of the thing that is required to be covered for your 11th and 12th for your JEE. We'll be doing only maybe 1% or 0.05% of that. That is what is required for us. And I told you that everything that we do in this class is need to know basis. So we'll be doing only that much part that is required for us to go ahead with physics. Now, what is the first thing that we should be doing? The first topic here that we'll be touching first of all in basic math is something known as quadratic equation. Please note it down better. Quadratic equation is the first thing. I will be sending you the entire whiteboard. Don't worry about that. And I guess your app is up and running, and the notes would be uploaded on your app as well. So what do you mean by quadratic equation? I hope many of you know what is a quadratic equation. An equation of the type ax square plus bx plus c equates 0. This equation is known as a quadratic equation. We all agree on this? This equation is known as a quadratic equation? Yes. Now, what are the things that you must remember? And again, I'm talking about only basic things. Please mind my words. Basic things that we must remember while we are solving this quadratic equation. Quadratic polynomial. Yes, Bhavya, you can call it quadratic polynomial. Now, every quadratic equation or quadratic polynomial will always have how many roots? The power of the quadratic equation is 2. Correct, Vaini? Yes, 2. Chaturya 2, right. Every quadratic equation where x is raised to the power of 2, as you can see here, will always have 2 roots. It cannot have less than 2 roots. It will always have 2 roots. Please remember that. Please remember this small point, very important. All quadratic equations must have 2 roots. 2 Chaturya, not necessary 2 real roots. Not necessary 2 real roots. The roots can be real, it can be imaginary. And again, I'm not going to get into the imaginary part because that is imaginary. That will come in maths. Physics is all about real things. Physics is not about imaginary. We will not get into the imaginary part. We stick to the real world. So, every quadratic equation has 2 roots. Now, these roots can be of different types, and I will not get much into that. They can be real, they can be imaginary, they can also be equal. Equal roots. Equal roots. A quadratic equation can have 2 roots, both of them are equal. But they will always have 2 roots. Okay? Remember that. One root may be real, the other one may be imaginary as well. So there are different examples that I could cite, but I will restrict myself to the basic fundamentals of quadratic equation. Every quadratic equation has 2 roots. What is this A known as? This A, gentlemen, which is there with x square. Yes, it depends on the discriminant, Vaini. Yes, it depends on the discriminant. What is this A known as? Anyone? This A is known as coefficient of x squared. Then what is this B known as? Anyone? If A is the coefficient of x squared, what is B? Very good. B would be known as the coefficient of x. Then what would be C? C does not have any x or x squared. What will you call C? C may be called as a constant term. So every quadratic equation may have one of these. It will at least have x square wala term. Then only it is a constant. Then only it's a quadratic equation. It may have x. It may have a constant. It may have both. It may have one. Doesn't matter. That becomes your quadratic equation. Now let me form a quadratic equation here. Minus 3x square plus 5x minus 7 is equal to 0. Let me say that this is my quadratic equation. Now looking at the terms, can you tell me what is the coefficient of x squared? What is the value of a here in this equation? What is the value of e? A is minus 3, so we'll just mark it out so that everyone understands this. A is equal to minus 3. Remember, coefficient of x squared. What about the coefficient of x? What is the coefficient of x? The coefficient of x is this term. It is positive, so it is plus 5. The value of b becomes plus 5. That's the coefficient of x. What about the constant terms? Why it's not 7? It's not plus 7. It is minus 7. Yes. Please don't make stupid mistakes. Be very careful. If you make a simple mistake of plus or minus, your entire question will turn out to be, your entire answer will turn out to be wrong. Please don't make that mistake. I hope you understand this. So in this equation, minus 3 is the coefficient of x squared, 5 is the coefficient of x, and minus 7 is the coefficient of, is the constant term. Now, how do you solve this quadratic equation? You may be aware of a term which is known as factorization of this quadratic equation. Obviously, you can solve it by factorization. But here I am not going to get into the different methods of solving this quadratic equation. I'll just get to that small formula that we'll be using to solve this quadratic equation. It has two roots. Can you tell me what will be the, how will you find out the value of those two roots? How would you get the value of x from this quadratic equation? The quadratic equation is ax squared plus bx plus c. How will you get the value of x? Anyone? What will be the value of x from this quadratic equation? By factorization? No, beta, I am not talking about factorization here. I am talking about the small formula for quadratic equation, which probably you would have read in standard 10th or 9th if you have CBSE curriculum, because it is a part of CBSE curriculum. Alpha, beta, Shravya is saying alpha, beta. I have to get the value of x. Yes, I can call one as alpha. I can call the other root as beta. How will I get that value of alpha and beta? I guess you probably don't know it. So I'll give you the formula. It is minus b plus or minus root over b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. Have you seen this formula, beta? Anyone? Can I have some raised hand? Can I have some, yes, quadratic formula, you can call it quadratic formula. You have seen this formula, minus b plus or minus root over b square minus 4ac by 2a. Do you see two roots here? What are the two roots here? I only see one root. I don't see the other root. Where is the other root? So there is a small thing that you must remember. What are the two roots here? If I call one root as x1, if you don't want to call it x1, you can call it alpha, alpha, beta, whatever. Okay, so what is the value of alpha or x1? You take either plus or minus one sign. That will be your first root. Let us take plus. So alpha becomes minus b plus root over b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. This becomes my first root, alpha or x1. We agree on this? We have already 101 messages up till now. Great. Do we agree on this? Yes, this is my first root. I can call it x1, I can call it alpha, beta, gamma, xy, whatever you want to call it, call it. If this is my first root, what would be my second root? I will call it x2, or you may also call it beta. What would be the second root? The first root, we have taken plus. The second root, we have to take the other gentleman, which is minus. So the second root becomes minus b minus root over b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. That becomes my second root. Am I clear with everyone about this small thing? Minus b plus or minus. One root is the plus one, the other root is the minus one. Minus b plus or minus root over b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. It will always give me two roots. Now there are different ways in which you can remember this formula. I will tell you just one way, which I must tell you. So have you written this? Shall I move to the next screen, next whiteboard? I hope you've written this, right? I gave you enough time to write this. You'll always have the recording, I think, in your app. Your app is a fantastic app. Everything will be there. Don't worry. The whiteboard will be there with you. I shall move on to one more thing that I just want to add here, because someone said discriminant. So who said discriminant? Can you tell me what do you mean by discriminant? This discriminant, since someone said discriminant, I'll just add this discriminant. The discriminant, I may have made a spelling mistake. The discriminant is written by the letter capital D, and that is equal to root over beta. You have written wrongly, Vahini. It is root over b square minus 4ac. Am I clear? That is known as the discriminant. Am I clear? So if someone says discriminant, you can write it like this. Root, sometimes you may just call it as b square minus 4ac. Depending on C, that is not a problem of maths. That is basically a problem. That is not a problem of physics. That is basically a problem of maths. So I can call discriminant as b square minus 4ac. I think maths calls it b square minus 4ac. That is the discriminant. If this discriminant is less than 0, that becomes imaginary roots. If it is equal to 0, it becomes real. It becomes equal roots. If it is greater than 0, they become two separate roots. Yes, finally, that's correct. So discriminant is b square minus 4ac. Let us not get into such complications. If you can remember this formula, I always find it comfortable in remembering this formula. If you can remember this formula, you should be good enough for physics. And I'm only concentrating on physics part. I'm not concentrating on the maths part. Am I clear with this? B square minus 4ac, the root should not be there. I can't rub it. My razor doesn't work. I don't know why. Now then there is a formula for sum of roots. There is formula for product of roots. Again, I will not get into that. It's not a class for quadratic equations. The class of physics. We only do what is required. Need to know basis. Now I'll give you one equation, a simple one. And I would expect that you give me the value of that roots. Are we ready for that? Question number 1. Are we ready? So the question is x square minus 9x plus 18 is equal to 0. This is obviously a quadratic equation. Can you tell me the roots of this equation? And your time begins now. X square minus 9x plus 18. That is your quadratic equation. Can you tell me the roots of this quadratic equation? Let me wait for the first answer. I already have some 150 messages. I hope I have replied to each of them. If I missed something important, please let me know. Yep. Anyone with an answer? X square minus 9x plus 18. 3 and 6. Raju says, I think Raju, you are correct, and you have won this small contest. 3 and 6 are the roots of this equation. This is the first time probably you are solving it. It might take time. Let me help you here a bit. And what help will you require? I'll just get the values of A, B, and C, and then probably I'll leave it to you to put the formula and get the answer. What is the value of A here? Which is the coefficient of x squared. The value of A is 1. Minus 3, minus 6, Chaturya, I think plus 6, plus 3, plus 6, or minus 3, minus 6. I think Chaturya is correct. I got excited by 3 and 6. I think it is minus 3 and minus 6. Let me see. I just made an equation and I am no God. So let us find out. So value of A is 1. What is the value of B here? Anyone? I think it is minus 9, if I'm correct. What is the value of C here? C, I think, is 18. Now let me put that formula. So my x shall be equal to minus of B. So minus of B is minus of minus 9. So it becomes 9. Yes or no? Plus or minus root over B squared. So the minus 9 squared, that is 81, minus 4 times A is 1, into C is 18, divided by 2 times of A is 1. So 2 into 1, that is 2. This should give me my answer. And what is the answer from here? Anyone? Now you can get this. This is a simple thing. You should be able to get me the answer. What are the values of x now? 3 and 6, Santosh, yes, it's not minus 3 and minus 6. So probably you got minus 3 and minus 6. Maybe you tried the factorization method, I guess. Don't worry, beta. It's just a matter of practice. If you practice good enough, hard enough, you should be able to get the answers, and the answers are 3 and 6. Shavya got 3. Shavya, if you got 3, you must also get the 6th one. One answer will be using plus, I think that answer will be 3 or 6. And the second answer will be using minus. So I think the plus answer is 6 wala answer and the minus answer is 3 wala answer. I'm just guessing. I hope you have understood. Have you got this solved correctly? Can I have some raised hand so that I understand that you have done it? Okay, okay. Vaini says yes. Jayashankar also says yes. 6, 7, 8. Okay. 9, 11, 12, 15. Very good. 20. Very good. Very good. Okay. I'll give you one more. And once you get this quadratic equation beta, it should take more. It should take around 15 to 20 seconds. You must be that fast. 15 to 20 seconds, 30 seconds at the max to solve that equation. And I'm noting this from a book. And here comes a question. Let me use a different pen just to make things look good. So the question is, solve this quadratic equation. I'm reading it from a text. 3x squared, I don't know the answer, minus 14x minus 5 equated to 0. I have lots of notes. I use them while I'm in the class. So this is from one of the notes and the text. I think I have read it correctly. 3x squared minus 14x minus 5 equal to 0. And your time starts now. I'm waiting for answers. I'm waiting for answers for this one. Again, please remember, beta, there might be questions that you can solve using that 5 and minus 13. 5 and minus 13, I don't think it is correct. The answer that I have written is something else, beta. Maybe the answer is wrong. Maybe we will check. So it's not possible every time to probably use factorization, but it's always possible to use it, to use the formula or the equation that I gave to get the values of x1 and x2 or the two roots. Can I have some answers so that I can move ahead? Minus 1 by 3 and 5, I think that is the answer that I have in my text. So congratulations who have got it. Others, it's just a matter of practice. If you practice good enough, you should be there. So what is the value of a here? 5 and minus 3, yes, Reddy, they are correct. A is 3, B is minus of 14, and C is minus of 5. You got this one, then next step should get you the answer. X should be equal to minus of B. So minus of minus 14 becomes plus 14, plus or minus root over B squared. 14 squared, I think is 196, if I'm correct. I am not very correct, so I'll just write it minus 14 square minus 4 times value of A is 3. I've written 3 multiplied by the value of C, which is minus 5. And I've divided it by 2 times of A. 2 times of A is 6. That should get you the answer. One answer would be achieved by getting by using plus sign. The other one should be using minus sign, and the answer that I have written is x is equal to 5 and x is equal to minus 1 by 3. X is equal to 5 and x is equal to minus 1 by 3. Are we all getting the same answers? It's a very simple equation from here. You must be able to solve it. Yes, Satudya says yes. Once you solve it, it's a simple math. You have to square it, then add or subtract 4ac, depending on whether it's minus or plus, and then you should get the answer. So we understand this quadratic equation. If you want, I can give you some examples after the class. I will give you some quadratic equation from my text or notes, and then I'll share the answers as well, so you can practice from those sheets. It will take some time for me to find out that sheet. Okay, shall we move ahead with the next thing that we should discuss today? Everyone with me? Yes, sir. Vaini says, Chaturya says yes, so I shall move. Now, the second thing in basic maths that we are going to go through, you might not have heard about it. but that doesn't mean that you should not know about it or you can't use it, because will be using it in a lot of cases. Not now, maybe ahead. Point number 2 is known as binomial theorem. Binomial theorem. I don't know how many of you have heard about this. Yes, sir. Vijay says yes, sir. Vijay, I'm really surprised if you have, and really happy that if you have heard about it. Normally, students don't hear about it till about half of 11th standard. Ajay Kumar also says binomial theorem. He has heard about it. Okay, that's very nice. Again, I'm not going to go into the entire binomial theorem. Just a very small part which I am concerned about. We'll just go through that point that I am concerned about. I means physics. I am physics. Now, what is binomial theorem? Now, this binomial theorem basically gives us the expansion. Expansion of what? Suppose, and I'll just take an example which I will require in physics. Suppose I have an equation says 1 plus x raised to the power of n. Now, this equation could be put in a different way, different form as well. But again, that is not of my concern. My concern is only physics. I'll just concentrate on my physics. If I have an equation of this type, where n is any number, positive, negative, or fraction, n is a number, I can expand this using this concept of binomial theorem. And what does binomial theorem say? 1 plus x, the entire thing raised to the power n, which I've written, is equal to 1. Please remember, please write it while I'm doing it. 1 plus n times of x, very nice, plus n into n minus 1 divided by something known as 2 factorial. Now you will see what is factorial, sir. Don't worry, we'll come to it. Plus, I'll just give you one more term because after that I just don't require. Actually, I just require only 2 of these. Just telling you, just for your common knowledge. N into n minus 1 into n minus 2 x cubed divided by 3 factorial, and the series goes on and on till it reaches its final destination. Now, I know that there is one term which is coming which you are not aware about, is factorial. Just give you a very hint of factorial. What is factorial? 0 factorial. We'll just give you the values and you'll understand. 0 factorial is 1. 1 factorial is 0 factorial, which is the upper wala, multiplied by 1. So it also becomes 1. That's how it's defined. I'll give you one more. 2 factorial. What will be 2 factorial equal to then? Say. What will be 2 factorial equal to then? Use your brain, use your some common sense. It's 2, but how do I get it? It is 1 factorial multiplied by 2. It's basically 1 multiplied by 2. So it is 2. That is my 2 factorial. What is 3 factorial? So it is 2 factorial multiplied by 3, or I can write it as 1 into 2 into 3, and that is equal to 6. So now I hope you understand what is 4 factorial. 1 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 4. What is 5 factorial? 1 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 4 multiplied by 5. Am I clear with this factorial concept? 0 factorial is 1, 1 factorial is 1, 2 factorial is 1 into 2, 3 factorial 1 into 2 into 3, 4 factorial is so on and so on and so on. That is how factorial is defined. You don't have to remember this entire equation, please, beta. Physics is simple, maths is very tough. I don't understand maths. Physics is very simple. You don't have to understand, you don't have to remember this part, this part. I'm only concerned with these two. I'm only concerned with these two. Physics is only concerned. Whatever we need is only these two. Now, why do we need these two? Because we'll be encountering cases where we would like to expand something. Now, let me give you a very simple note. A very simple note. Now, if this x If this x is very, very, very less than 1, you will always find this symbol coming in physics. Very, very, very less than 1, or x is very, 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 very less than 0, or some number. What does this mean? What does this mean that I have written here? X is very, very less than 1, x is very, very less than 0. What it actually means is, let us talk about the first term. Let us say x is equal to 0.00001. If x is 0.001, x becomes very less than 1. It's very, very small compared to 1. Right? Now, if that is the case, if x is such a small number, we can neglect all these terms which are coming in this equation, because the third term has x squared, the fourth term has x cubed. Now, when you square a very small number, what happens? The number that you get is still smaller than the number that you squared. We agree on this? If you square a very small number, it becomes much more smaller than the number that is squared. So we can all forget about all these points, and we only concentrate on the first two terms. So if I put a condition, if x is very, very, very small compared to 1, please remember, if x is very, 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 very small compared to 1, I can write, please remember it beta, very small point, but very important, 1 plus x raised to the power n, 1 plus x raised to the power n can now be written as 1 plus nx, because I have neglected all the higher powers. Am I clear? Are you getting my point, everyone? Are you getting my point? If x is very, very small compared to 1, 1 plus x raised to the power n becomes 1 plus nx. And that is the only thing that we are concerned about in physics. That is the only thing that we are concerned about in physics. Have you noted this down? Let me move on to the next slide. So again, I'll write the same thing. If x is very, 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 very less than 1, first point you have to remember is 1 plus x raised to the power of n can be written as 1 plus nx. We have discussed this in the previous board. Now I can write a few variations of the same thing. Number 2, if it was 1 plus x raised to the power of minus n, instead of n, which is a positive number, now I have minus n, which might be a negative number. What would be the value of 1 plus x raised to the power of minus n? 1 plus x raised to the power of minus n. What would be the answer for this? Anyone? No one? Please think. 1 plus minus nx. Yes, Vaini has given me the right answer. Hannah, you are wrong. Minus 1 minus nx. No, minus 1 will not come here. 1 by 1. Jai Shankar, you are right. 1 minus nx. So instead of plus n, it becomes 1 minus nx. Are you getting my point, beta, everyone? 1 minus nx, yes. 1 minus nx is correct. Yes, Vaini. Okay. Then comes another trivia question. If it was 1 minus x raised to the power of n, 1 minus x raised to the power of n, what would be the answer then? What would be the answer then if it is Vahini? 1 plus nx was the answer when it was 1 plus x raised to the power of n. Now it is 1 minus x. Just apply some common sense. What will be the answer now? Yes, Chaturya, you are absolutely correct. Yes, Reddy, 1 minus nx. That would be the answer. Just see, look at the whiteboard and see, beta. It's all evident. Physics is very simple. It even makes maths simple. because we are only using a part of it. Math as such is very tough. Number four comes. What is number 4? 1 minus x raised to the power of minus n. What would be the answer to this one? Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. And Jai Shankar wins. It is 1 plus nx. Are you all with me on this? What we have discussed? Yes, Vijay Kumar, the answer is 1 plus nx. There, Chaturia says, great. That's great. That's great. Very good, Vaini. Okay. Now the question comes, sir, where do you apply this? We have studied this. Where do you apply this? How do you use this? And now comes the interesting part. Now this tool, simple tool, makes us do some amazing stuff. We call it approximation. We call it approximation. This tool lets us do some approximations. What is this approximation? Example. Look at the example and you will be astonished by what you can do with this. I have a simple problem, 1.0001 raised to the power of 5. What is the value of this thing? 1.0001 raised to the power 5. What will be the value of this? Anyone? You can't use your calculator, obviously. But you can use some common sense, which is right there on the whiteboard. Yes, Chaturya. Thoda sa, something missing, Chaturya. Something missing. Okay, I solve one for you, and I'll expect that then you can repeat the steps that I have done. Shall I solve it? Look at the steps very carefully. Look at the steps very carefully, and you will get the answer in a flash. Now, Ajay Kumar, let's give me some time so that I can also show my skills. You always show your skills. I must also be given a chance to show mine. Isn't it fair? Okay. Okay, now let me first get this in the form of this. How do I get this in the form of this? So I can write it as 1 plus 0.001, right? Now instead of writing, yes, Jayasudya, now you are correct probably. 1 plus 0.001, but I am not a very big fan of zeros, so I'll just write it as 1 divided by, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4. We all agree on this? I don't like decimals. I write fractions. Fractions are better. Fractions give me fun. Am I correct with this step? Okay. Then it becomes 1 plus 1 by, I think, 10,000 raised to the power of 5. Now I see this gentleman is very small compared to this gentleman. Yes or no? This one, 1 divided by 10,000 is very small compared to 1. This equation is satisfied. Now I can just put this formula. 1 plus x, the entire thing raised to the power of n is 1 plus nx. And here is my answer. And what is my answer? My answer is 1 plus 5 divided by 10,000. That is my answer. Yes, Vaini. Yes, that's correct. Have you got the essence of what I have done here? I have not done any magic, but just use some common sense, some simple steps, and got you the answer. You all agree on this? Can I have some raised hands so that I can see that we are on the same page on this one? Okay, okay. I already have 250 messages. Great going. Well done. I'm getting some participation. Good. Okay, one for you. And I have to move to the next screen because the screen is all jumbled up. So I'll move to the next screen. I hope you remember these 4. Very simple. If you remember one, you remember all. Simple. Physics is simple. Maths might be tough. Okay. Comes the next one, and this is question number 2. Let me write it with red only. Question number 2. So the question now is 1.0003 raised to the power of 1 by 3. So I'm asking you to find the cube root. I'm asking you to find the cube root of something very so-called difficult. Can you do it? You're finding cube root of something and you are not using a calculator, using some simple common sense. And I'm waiting for your answers. The first answer and I start. Yes, Santosh, any problem? Okay, I think here is the hand for the last one. 1 plus 0.003 raised to the power of 1 by 3. What is the answer to this one? No one? Shall I do it? 1 divided by 30,000. Sanvi, you missed something. It's a small, simple thing probably you have missed. 1 plus 1 divided by 30,000. Chaturthi again should not make 1 plus 1 divided by 10,000. Santosh, I must think that that is the correct answer. So I've got one correct answer. That gives me enough courage to move ahead and tell you how to do this. Vijay, I think that is the answer. 1 plus 1 divided by 10,000. I think that is the answer. Let me do it. Same steps. Yes, so it will be written as 1 plus 0.0003. I don't like fractions. I don't like decimals. I like fractions. So I'll write it as 3 divided by 10, 0, 0, 0. I hope I've written the correct number of zeros. I'm very weak in maths. Raised to the power of 1 by 3. Again, looking at what I have studied, this gentleman is very small compared to this gentleman. I can use the formula. So my answer becomes 1 plus, here I have a fraction. Don't worry, it is still valid for a fraction. Don't worry about that. Fraction, number, positive, negative, anything is valid. So it is 1 by 3 n. N key value is 1 by 3 multiplied by 3 by 10,000. And I have plenty of right answers to see. So the answer is 1 plus 1 by 10,000. I hope I have written the correct number of zeros. So it is 10,001 divided by 10,000. You wish, you can write it in any possible form that you like. How many of you have got this correct answer? Okay, I've got 4, only 4, 5, 7, 9, 10. Ajit says, okay, so some people might not be able to raise hand. Okay, so I hope you have understood this small concept, right? Now, this use that we had seen was basically limited to finding out the values of certain numbers raised to the power of something. Okay, what we'll do now is see a way in which we can use it in physics. So in physics, you might not be encountering such calculations. You might not be encountering such calculations. You'll be encountering something else. Something else. What is that something else? A question comes and we'll try to find out its answer, and that will again be helping you in understanding this concept. Okay. So question number 3. Listen to me very carefully, and you might find very fascinating. I have something known as R plus H raised to the power of 2. Oh, there are no numbers. R and H are numbers here. R plus H raised to the power of 2, so squared. And the condition given here is H is very, very, very small compared to R. But remember better, we are doing physics and not maths. So we'll be doing problems that are concerned with physics more rather than maths. So H is very, very small compared to R. That condition is given to you. You are supposed to find out the value of R plus H the whole squared. That is the question. Your time starts now. Now this is the question that is going to come in physics. R plus 2H, R plus 2H. I'm getting some great answers. Great. But again, I think that the dimensions of your answers are not very correct. But you have done a remarkable job, everyone. I'm very surprised and very pleasantly surprised. And happy about this, that you are attempting the question, which I don't think R plus 2H. Maruti Satya Kumar, I think this is the first time you have given any answer. Great, beta. I think you are getting the essence, Vijay, and you have just missed a very small thing, and that small thing is going to make a lot of difference in the eventual answer. Shall I help you out? Kruti also says 1 plus R plus 2H. So everyone is fascinated with R plus 2H. But you have missed a very small point. I help you out. So I don't have any formula for R square plus 2RH plus S square. Okay, you have actually expanded it. I could have, you could have expanded it, but I wanted to use the binomial theorem. So I'll give you another question that you can't expand. I'll give you that. Thanks for expanding it and showing it to me. Let me see what I was supposed to do. Now this question, as you can see, is not in the format. Which format? This one. It is not in this format. It's not in the form of 1 plus something. Let me take it to that format. How do I take it to that format? Run this equation. Let me make a bigger bracket. I can take R out. And then this can be written as 1 plus H by R. And the entire thing is squared. We agree on this small step. We agree on this small step that I've taken. A small step for man, a giant leap for mankind. This is what Neil Armstrong said while stepping on the moon. Small step for man, giant leap for mankind. Have you taken the giant leap, everyone, for the mankind? That you have understood this small step that I've taken? Shall I move ahead with this small step? Yes, while he says so, I shall move. Now, what I do is, this R can be taken out of the bracket, but once it's taken out, it is squared. Yes, I'm coming to that gravitation equation. R is squared. So when it comes out, it becomes R squared, which is what you have missed, everyone. Now, inside the bracket, what remains is 1 plus H by R, and the square remains on this term. Yes. Now people are getting answers, so I'm very happy still. Now this comes in that form of what? Form of what? This gentleman becomes my 1, and this gentleman becomes my X. And if R is very small compared to H, if H is very small compared to R, H by R becomes very, very small compared to 1. Yes, beta, now you are getting the answers. H by R becomes very small compared to 1. Now I can expand this. So my final answer becomes, now I can have final answers. R square has already come out. 1 plus n times, n is 2, n times of X, 2 times H by R, and that is my final answer. R square multiplied by, yes, Jayashankar, 1 plus 2H by R. We agree on this. Everyone, we agree on this, how we have achieved this. I'm still getting some message on my previous chat. Maruti, I think you have come on that chat. Maruti, please send me message on that. Yes, okay, Maruti. So we got this. We got this. We got the essence of what we are supposed to do here. One more. Shall I do one more? Okay. Now, instead of doing this one more, let me do a question from your notes. And someone pointed out gravitation something. We'll do a question on gravitation something. And the question comes now on your screens. Where is that? Here, this one. This one, and share. Okay, here comes the question. Problem number 3, that is from your notes. If you should get on your app. Problem number 3 here. The value of acceleration due to gravity g at a height h, will be deriving this equation, above the surface of Earth is given by g dash is equal to g r square into r plus h ka whole square. If h is very small compared to r, look at the question carefully. What is the value of g dash? The entire exercise was to solve this question, because this question is going to come in a chapter known as gravitation, which is like 7 years ahead, 7 months ahead of us. This will come there. Then you should remember, sir, we had already done this in the first basic maths class. Now it is coming again. Have you read the question, everyone? The value of g? Yes, I'll just write it on the whiteboard. If everyone has read it, I'll just write it on the whiteboard. And oh, we have the answer as well. The answer, Reddy says D. I think you made a small mistake. Small mistake. Very small mistake. Bhavya says C. No, Bhavya, answer is not C. Answer is not C, I'm afraid. Answer is not C. Answer is not C. B. Yeah, now you are guessing everything. Santosh, I think B is the answer. I think B is the answer. That's correct. I think B is the answer. If you know it, that's great. If you don't, well, don't worry. I'm here. I'm here. B. Wow. If you can do this question on your own, nothing like it. It's the greatest thing that I've heard in a while. So what was the question? My G dash is given as G. Can you help me out? How is it written as G into R square? I don't see the question. I have to remember it. Let me see. Where's the question? The question says that G into R square divided by R plus H the whole squared. Now from here, how did I get that answer? I mean, the answer seems nowhere. The answer looks nowhere. You just be patient, take a deep breath and relax, and you will get the answer. Trust me. Take a deep breath, relax, you will get the answer. Take out G. Okay, Chaturya, great. Chaturya has given me the first step. Take out G. Chaturya, you have given the first step. Very great. I have taken out G, and then I've taken everything inside the what? R upon R plus H whole squared. We agree on this? We agree on this step? Okay, chalo, we agree on this step. What next? See, remember beta, whatever we are doing here are not part of physics. Pure, simple, basic maths. What should be the next step? Anyone with the next step? Anyone with the next step? I'll divide it by R and multiply it by R. So the equation will look as 1 plus, I can do it in many different ways. I am just doing it like this. 1 plus H by R. I can write it this way. The entire equation from this step to this step. We understand how I have achieved. Yes, you are correct. 1 plus R by H, the entire thing squared. Yes or no? Yes, sir. Why he says yes, sir? If you are here, then we are done. Now I can write it as G into, this thing is 1. So I can write it as 1 plus, remember this step, the final step. The final step is probably the most difficult one, raised to the power of -2. You understand how did I get to -2? 1 plus H by R was in the denominator. Yes, Santosh is yes. 1 plus H by R was in the denominator. I have taken it to the numerator. So it is raised to the power of -2. Once I come here, and I know that, and I know what? That H by R is very small compared to 1. We have seen it in the previous question. This becomes 1 plus X raised to the power of -n. What is the answer to this one? So it will be G multiplied by 1 प्लस nx माइनस nx हो जाएगा माइनस 2h by r. Everyone with me on this? How I achieved here? How we reached here from this equation? I'll repeat the step one by one again. First, I took G out as Chaturya told me, sir, take G out. I've taken G out. So everything is squared. Then I use a bit of common sense. I divided by R and multiplied by R. So it becomes 1 upon 1 plus H by R. 1 plus H by R is in the denominator. I took it to the numerator. So instead of square, it becomes minus 2. Then I had this condition. And then it comes in the form of 1 plus x raised to the power of minus n. And the answer is 1 minus 2h by r. We agree on this? So did you know, do you understand why we had done all those binomial theorem stuff and arrived here? Can you do one small one for me, everyone? Small one for me. Okay. So I'll move on to the next slide. So here comes the question on binomial. You have to find the value of r plus h raised to the power of r cube plus h. I can't rub it. I don't know. My razor doesn't work. Razor, I don't know. It doesn't work. So I'll just take it out. I'll just write it again. R cube plus h raised to the power of 1 by 3. The condition is h is very, very small compared to r cube. Can you get me the value of this thing? Why does this eraser don't work? Eraser. It doesn't work. R cube plus h raised to the power of 1 by 3. H is very, very small compared to r cube. Waiting for answers. I already have 320 to 325 messages. Great. Get going. So people are participating. That's great. We have an interactive session. Can I have an answer for this one? Can I have an answer for this one? R cube plus h raised to the power of 1 by 3. H is very small compared to r cube. What is the answer to this one? Using binomial expansion, obviously. Shall I do it? Again, take small steps. Chaturya, just one term is wrong in your expression. Just one term. Santosh, again, one term is wrong. You have taken out something. You have not seen what you have taken out. Please remember, small steps, small mistakes, and your question is done. Do not make those stupid mistakes. Do not make those simple mistakes. It is very disheartening to see that. Shall I do it? What is step number 1? I take r cube out. So it becomes 1 plus h by r cubed. And this entire thing, yes, is raised to the power of 1 by 3. The entire thing is raised to the power of 1 by 3. Now I can take r cube outside. But if I take r cube outside, it must be, I must take the cube root of that thing. So r cube ka cube root, how much is r cube ka cube root? So when it comes out, it becomes r raised to the power 3 by 3. Yeah, so r, simply r remains, multiplied by 1 plus h by r cube raised to the power of 1 by 3. R raised to the power 3 by 3 is very simple. It is simply r Now I can apply the formula here, 1 plus nx, n is 1 by 3, so answer is 1 plus h by 3r cubed. That is the answer to this question. Are you getting me, everyone? So the answer is r multiplied by 1 plus h by 3r. That is the answer. These many questions are good enough if you have understood the concept. For physics, again, I must insist that we are not going to do the entire binomial, because of the entire chapter, only the part that we are concerned with. So I think I'll end r plus 1. Maybe how did I get r plus 1? No, I think you made a mistake. So I'll end today's class here. And I will be looking forward to your doubts. Yes, Vaini, thanks for letting me know to save the slides. I'll save the slides.